what's going on? We're here for the Sigil, Seals, and Digital Talisman, part two. Okay, so we're back. Welcome. If you have not met me before, I am your host, Big Time. I do readings, okay? I do those oracle reads, and then also life coaching, okay? So, if you're on TikTok, you'll be able to hit that button. You'll know exactly what button that is right here in the left-hand corner. Tap that, you can see my services, and we can figure out which you would like to do and which way you would like to roll, okay? If you're looking for a reading or if you're looking for counseling for that ultimate breakthrough, for that life coach for the ultimate breakthrough. So, make sure y'all tap on the screen like this, okay? Share this, baby. Let's take it up, blow it up. Okay, so we're back with part 2 of the Sigils, Seals, and the Digital Talisman. Now, I know it can seem scary. I know it can seem like, what are you talking about? You getting into some deep things. You going to a far place. And that may be so. But, like I said, we're going to look up verses. I'll post them up on the screen so you can look it up for yourself. And the books that I have, the cross references. Now, this is getting into magic. What do you know? Okay, and this is what I'm discovering myself. This is something I had not known, okay? Now, there is 2 different ways to describe magic as well as spell it, okay? So what I've learned, first off, with sigils, you spell magic the traditional way, okay? The M-A-G-I-C, right? Okay, so you spell that the traditional way. But with seals, you spell magic M-A-G-I-C-K. So that's something I learned that was different. Okay, now the feature with seals, okay, we're going to jump into seals. Some of the seals of which you have seen many times in our lives, okay? A lot of them are government seals, okay? So, what is the feature to seals? Okay, invocation or evocation. Okay, what was his primary use? His primary use was medieval grimoires, the Lesser Key of Solomon, okay? Now I want you to look that up. I'm going to put that up there and see if we can get a cross reference of what that book looks like. The Lesser Key of Solomon. Okay, now I wanted to dive deep into that. I wanted to come back with some other videos to see what this Lesser Key of Solomon is like. What is this? What is it teaching us? What is it going to help us learn in our lives? Okay, or how is it used for us or against us in our lives? Okay. Now, with seals are more rigid. They're more traditional, okay? And let me see. It must be drawn exactly, okay? And it's more of a Renaissance magic, okay? Hermeticism magic or Hermeticism, 14th to the 17th century, okay? Now look up the Hermeticism and Renaissance magic, and that's M-A-G-I-C-K, 14th to the 17th century. Now remember, sigils, its primary use is manifestation and will. Now with seals, its primary use is for evocation and authority, okay? Evocation and authority. Okay, so, all right, so the history of it is in the Renaissance era, the 14th century to the 17th century, and its nature, okay? The nature of it is, these are formed from established signatures or badges, okay? It's a signature or it's a badge. of a specific entity, spirits, or celestial being or a celestial body, okay? They are used as a calling card to summons. Did y'all hear that? They are used as a calling card to summons or to bind pre-existing force. So this pre-existing force is something that's external to itself, okay? Now remember, sigils is internal to yourself, okay, or to one's being, entity, or whichever it may be inside of a group, okay? And then the other is external, which is seals, okay? Now, seals, like I said, is external, and it is a tool to use to interact with the power that exists outside of yourself. Okay, now sigil is a tool with the power that is created to exist inside yourself, okay? Now, these can be used with runes, okay? These sigils and these seals, you can have a seal, which is a circle within a circle in some way, or you can have these runes, okay, to activate this power in such a way, okay? Now, we use these as everyday branding. I know. You're like, what? Hold on. I thought we was getting into the dark and the mystical and oh my God, there's going to be all this different stuff and with the seals and we're getting to the cult and the occult. And we are because don't get it twisted. It was mixed up. Okay. A lot of runes and symbols or symbology has been mixed up between the two. Okay. Of course, it's going to be something that is fearing or make it become fearful. But what I need you to understand, when you are creating, let's say, a seal with the sigil with inside of it, and it has a rune as a symbolic nature, you are creating your own egregor. Okay, so instead of having an egregor or fear that is created by a construct under a seal, under a sigil that is put onto you as a stronghold, you can take that power back by creating your own seal or sigil with a rune within it, if you so choose, or your own seal or sigil, your emblem, okay, your branding, your name, okay, and create your own egregor for your intentions. Now, this is the dangerous part about it. If done correctly, it does have power. And knowing that everybody don't have good intentions for everybody. This is why I can see most people will probably want this to be quiet. This is why most people will probably be like, people can't handle that power. But I have come across this as something that I wanted to learn in detail because I also wanted to know how it could be possibly weaponized against us and we may not know, okay? And these things do have symbology that can affect you subconsciously, okay? One is to trigger you subconsciously where you know exactly what it is, not to contest it when you see it, because it triggers you in your subconscious mind, not in your conscious wake mind, okay? So this is why I wanted to bring that, because we have to know the power that we have and how people may use that against us, but how it can also be used for us. Okay, it may not always be bad. It's just bad people that do bad things, right? Okay, so, symbols only have power, okay, that you allow it to have. The symbols only have power for what you allow it to have. Okay, another seal or another sigil. A seal within a sigil is the dollar bill. Okay. Okay, the all-seeing eye. Yes, the dollar bill, the pyramid. It's all within encapsulated into a circle that's encapsulated on the square or rectangular bill. Yes, and it always have a geometric shape to it as well. Okay, there's a reason for the geometric shapes that goes within these seals or these symbols or these sigils that can activate when that rune is there as a talisman. Okay, now talisman is a whole nother different discussion. Okay, it's a whole nother different discussion, but it goes along the lines of digital talisman, okay? And how we're not understanding how this may play into our psychology, but not only that, into our branding, okay? So let's go. Okay, if you haven't met me, I am your host, Big Time. What other time is the right time but Big Time's time? And I'm so grateful that you came to spend some time with me and circumvent that time with me, okay? I will pour into you to ensure that you glow, as long as you keep pouring into me and showing me that love to keep it going, okay? So, now this is the psychology of power. Okay, now when we get into the sigils and the seals, we are starting to get into the structure of the psychology of power, okay? And how having it or lacking it influence or alters, that influence the person's thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Okay, now just think, having it or having the lack thereof can influence your emotional state, your behavior state, and also influence and alters your thoughts and your emotions. Okay, well, of course, your emotion. I say your emotional state, but your thoughts as well. Okay, so this is really can really get into the deep in the depths of the psyche. Okay, so this is what I want us to be prepared for. This is what I want us to watch out for, okay? I hear my grandma saying to me as an old saying, God gave you eyelids for a reason. If it's something that's not supposed to be in your brain space or something you ain't supposed to see, close them. Because that's what they're for, to block that. You feel me? Okay, so now these are supposed to be symbols of empowerment, okay? Not of destruction. Okay, and to destroy people. Okay, this is of either of empowerment or control. Now, yes, sigils is supposed to be a sign, a symbolic nature of empowerment, and seals is more of control. Okay, because you are summoning the spirit, you are invoking the spirit, you are putting the power of the intentions on the outside of you, okay, in a calling pull nature, okay. Your symbols matter, and that's what I wanted to get on here to tell you. Your symbols matter, okay. Now, at spiritual artwork, pay attention to the symbols. Who gave it its power, okay? Who gave these symbols their power? And why does it have power? Why does it work? Okay, so we're going to be coming back in part 3. We're going to be diving deep, and we're going to go a little bit deeper, but we're going to intertwine these two together. I want to give you the polarities and the opposites of the cult and occult, okay? And how these symbols is used, or how the sigils and the seals are used. And what is a digital talisman? Do you see it every day? Have we created one and we didn't know? And is the talisman that gets up and have a life of its own, is that truly the egregor that we have created? And what would your egregor do? Okay? All right. So we're going to be back. Don't you leave me. Don't you leave me. Don't leave me here by myself. No, I'm playing. But we are going to come back. We're going to learn more. And we're going to finish up this topic, okay? Thank you. Once again, you could have been anywhere in the world and you decided to be here with me, your host, your girl, Big Time. And I love you so much for it. I cannot appreciate you enough or give more gratitude to you, okay? I am so extremely grateful. I love y'all. Y'all come back and let's finish and wrap this up in the part 3. Peace.